It's been 2 full decades since this film right here.
Oh wow.
You built a shorthand with Colin, Jesse, Emma. I'd like to know if you feel that there's been an evolution in terms of how you work with the actors, and how refreshing was it to include somebody with the autism spectrum in Aidan Delbis? What strengths did you pull from him?
Um, yeah, I think in some ways there has been an evolution. The the technical aspect of it and how I rehearse with them and um, introduce them to the material and to the tonality of how we're gonna work is similar. The rehearsal process is quite similar, uh, but I've learned to trust them more and um, welcome what they have to contribute. Try and stay as objective as possible. So that means trying to not have too many discussions with them that intellectualize the characters in the story. Not in order to confuse them or deny them of information, but for myself to be able to have a certain kind of distance when I'm watching, the performances and how a certain kind of scene um, plays out, and then be able to help them, having in mind the entirety of the film and how something like that might fall in place. So that's I think the most important part of it, and that's why I've been working, with some of the same actors again and again, which builds trust. And in terms of Aidan, I from the moment I first read the script, and knowing that Emma and Jesse were going to be involved, I knew that I wanted someone who wouldn't have any film experience, and I do that in all of my films to various extent, um, to a certain extent. But this obviously was like a very important role, and again, being inspired by how the role was written within Will Trace's script, I did feel that it could be played by someone neurodivergent, autistic, as Aidan prefers. So we focused on finding someone like that, and then, I think there's such a different perspective by someone that comes in, a film set that hasn't ever had this experience before, and especially someone like Aidan, who's autistic and very smart and very honest, and it changes, the dynamic between actors that are, well trained and experienced, and when you bring in this new energy, it just creates a lot of possibility and unpredictability. But in a weird way, I worked the same way with Aidan as I worked with, the actors, in the sense that I wanted his instincts about the character and his ideas and his perspective of, how someone like him would react in this situation, and that enriched the part in the film, and gave it some authenticity that it's hard to replicate in any other way.
Hey, this is Eric from MyOnCinema.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.